You're watching JKL, brought to you by
Telkom, moving with you. Celebrating our heritage, we are stepping into a bold new future. Join us. Telkom, moving with you.
And welcome back to Jeff Koinange live here at Citizen Television. My guest tonight, Millie Odhiambo, MP Super North, Susan Kihika, Senator, Nakuru County, Dr. Joyce Laboso, Governor Bomet County. Incredible stories here and fascinating. And you know, these women, you're very united towards each other, which is good, good. In a very polarized country. Susan, let me go to you first.
Sure.
A very polarized election.
Yes.
A lot of, I guess a lot of cases are going to go to court.
Yep.
The main one, presidential, is in court. How do we heal this country, Susan?
I think it's okay that the cases are taken to court, because I think at the end of the day, we want due process to take place. And then after that, we are just going to have to move on as a country, because at that point, then things like development then take precedent over campaigns and elections and all that. So ultimately, I think, and I'm sure, Kenya will survive, Kenya will heal. But I also think we don't need the kind of reckless incitement that we are getting about us splitting it into two countries and all that sort of stuff. I think that's ridiculous. And it should not be the conversation at this point in time when things are so heated up. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm sure we shall be okay, because I'm sure, like the main case, it will still uphold the election. I'm quite sure of that. Because when you look at the number of MCAs, the number of MPs, the number of senators, the number of governors, the number of women rep, the majority of them on that divide that won. So I don't know how else the other side then will be able to overcome that.
Well, the other side is right there next to you.
Right, that's why I turned, yeah.
Well, I can tell you that that cannot alone be a yardstick, because we've been in a place and a position in the past where we've had majority of everything, but we are still out of government. So if that was a yardstick, then perhaps we need to rewind and get our presidency back. So I think there will be different legal parameters, as you know, as a lawyer, that will be used, and not in terms of how many MPs you've got. But our legal team is working very, very, very hard. Even earlier on, I was there with the legal team, and we'll present our evidence. But I want to say that I think I noticed there was, I was checking online, because when I woke up this morning, I've been pretty busy this course of the week, and I looked at my Facebook, and there was a lot of debate around David Ndii. And I said, okay, so why is David Ndii trending?
Right.
And then somebody said, there's this video about secession. And I looked, I looked at it, and I think he has started a very important discussion. And he has started it's not him actually say that he basically tweeted what somebody else had done.
Right.
But I think it's an important debate and an important discussion that we must have as a country, especially for the same reasons that my good friend Susan has said. She has said, we will move on. They have been defeated. Where I'm sitting, I am very offended. I am very hurt. I think that we are being taken for granted. I think we have been mistreated. I think that we are not taking elections in this country seriously. I think we have lost on democracy. And I think we must have, where we have no longer any faith in democracy, then we must start discussions on other issues.
Would
using constitutional
Would you be
framework.
for secession eventually? Do you agree in principle with that?
It's not about agreeing in principle. Since, we are talking about issues of what do you call it, self-determination.
Yeah.
That's a very okay principle internationally. In international law, it's acceptable.
But it's basically
it's acceptable. And therefore what we are saying is that if we really, because in Kenya we've tried to have a conversation about cohesion. We have tried to have a conversation about love. We've tried to have a conversation about unity. And it doesn't work. There must be something wrong about a country where it is okay for people to go around praying for peace. And then we don't see anything wrong. We can't go and pray when Baby Pendo has been killed by the police. And we can't pray when Nyarangi has been killed by the police. And we think it is normal to ethnically profile people. Recently, I put on my Facebook that I'm proudly Luo, even though I'm Suba, but I wanted to generate a discussion. I'm half Suba, half Luo, and I'm proud of that. And I wanted to put, I'm proudly Luo and proudly Kenyan. And somebody told me, how can you say you are Luo? Because I'm supposed to be embarrassed about being Luo now, at this time in this country. I will not be ashamed of being a Luo. And I will state the things that offend me as a Luo, as being treated as a Luo, as a third-class citizen in this country. And you don't want us to have those conversations, and you say accept and move on. We will not accept and move on unless we have a clear framework of discussing how I feel part of Kenya as a Luo.
Dr. Ari, and I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Dr. Ari, when you see someone like Isaac accepting and moving on.
Yes.
I think and it's a challenge. I am a Luo.
Yeah.
We will have those conversations.
Sure.
My brother, we will have those conversations.
Healthy.
Do not use Isaac as an example. He's accepted and moved on in Bomet. You are telling me to accept and move on, and I am saying we have 3 elections that in our heart we believe has been stolen. And you are telling me accept and move on. Assuming, just remotely assuming that I'm right. How do you think I feel?
And what if you're
wrong?
What if you're wrong?
Yes, there's also a presumption that I am wrong. Yes. But because there's a presumption that I could be wrong, and there's a presumption that I can be right, don't tell me to accept and move on. There must be a way that we deal with it without being dismissive. Unfortunately, I can tell you when my good sister Julie Gishuru started the accept and move on, and she was loaded, she even got...
she was trolled.
Yes.
She was slaughtered online.
Yes, she was slaughtered online because it's like you losing. You know, it's a bad example, but I want to give because I saw when she was narrating about when she lost her child. Yes. I cried when I watched it. But do you know what? A loss of an election is like that. It's like death to some people. And when you tell me accept and move on, it's like telling somebody you've lost your child, accept and move on. We must be able to have the uncomfortable discussions that the country does not want to have. Don't tell me accept and move on. It's very simple.
Very simple. To her point. Okay, I think also at the end of the day, we must accept that the nature of the beast, the nature of elections, there is going to be a winner and there is going to be a loser. So if you have lost and you feel the process was not fair, then the courts are open, and in this case, they have gone to court. And that's why I was saying that is proper and it should be that way, so that we get the due process. But what I am uncomfortable about, Millie, is once you get the decision of the say, for example, the court comes back and says, yeah, the elections, I mean, things stay as they were, then shouldn't you then at that point accept that that is what happened, your side lost? And then now we move on to the next part of
If I am from Mass, where I thought that our justice system, if I'm from Mass and I came in and I say, oh, Kenyan justice system is beyond reproach and all that, not in a situation where you are going to have a situation where people read for you a 2-minute. I was with my party leader, the Prime Minister, Raila Amolo Odinga. The last time when they read, we were in his office, were about 10 of us. When they read that decision, 1 minute, was it a 1 minute or 2 minute decision? And then they tell you, dismissed unanimously, no reason we'll give you later, very dismissively, and immediately. The then Inspector General of Police started tear-gassing the office of the Prime Minister. We know what the justice system in this country is, and until we reach that level where we have confidence in our justice system, don't tell me to accept and move on. We will use legal means.
But you've gone to court.
Yeah, but
so
others...
Going to court is
not the only legal means. I have not told you we are going to use illegal means. We've told you we are going to use constitutional means to show our displeasure.
Okay.
But what
and you can't stop me. You are a lawyer, you know that. You can't stop me from using constitutional means.
You can't say you have gone to court to challenge. But you also can't, on the other hand, say that you do not believe in the courts. Like, you can't have it both ways.
Yes, and I can tell you the history is because we had even indicated from before. You remember? We said we were not going to court because we had no faith in the courts. Yeah. We went because the government was hounding, Kenya Human Rights Commission was hounding Africa and other organizations that wanted to go to court. So we said we are the only people who can go to court
All right.
in
Now,
a regime
I
that
think
is
we've-
oppressive.
Can we switch
This is
gears for a moment
No,
and
no,
talk?
let me just say something
Okay,
before we
go ahead,
move to
go ahead,
this
go
one.
ahead,
I was really going to say, is it possible, Millie, that, that you are not saying move on, but is it possible to accept that there are just more Kenyans that believe in Jubilee than that believe in NASA? Is it possible from the numbers? I mean, even this time round, look at the number of votes that we got in Western Kenya. It is not that, and it's not like it is magic, because we also have MPs there that we didn't have before. Look at the number of votes we got even in Ukambani. Look at what we got in Kisii. In Nyamira. I mean, is it also possible? I mean, you can't say 3 elections and they have all been stolen from us without also breathing and saying, okay, so there is a very high possibility, which is what has happened, that there are just more Kenyans that believe in the narrative of, or in the vision of Jubilee than those that believe in.
But is it also possible that there are, even as you are saying, it is not out of the blues that elections can be stolen 3 times, 4 times, even 10 times, so long as you have an autocratic government that does not respect the rule of law, that does not respect democracy. Elections can be stolen
in
even
the analog
10 times.
one, it was
and what we are going to tell you, and Joyce, I can tell you for a fact, that so long as we are not confident about the system, my dear, and we have told you, especially when you are dismissive, even before we went into elections, let me tell you why, speaking even as Millie, before we went into elections, one of the legislators that is Jubilee friendly told me, Millie, mark my word, and fortunately were 3 of us, told me at Yaya Center, when I was sick, I was hospitalized, then I came, and they said, let me tell you what Raila Amolo Odinga is going to get and what Uhuru is going to get. Gave me the percentage.
The one that he turned down?
Yes.
Exactly.
Gave me the percentage
50,
and said that, you know what we are going to do? Pour in the police, we'll kill a few of your guys, and life will go on, and you will accept and move on.
This is someone credible, or is it someone just...
Someone credible.
This is just... I mean,
someone credible told me
We cannot corroborate what
no, you cannot,
saying,
but
we are saying,
at
Millie,
least...
Millie, to be honest.
I am telling you, Joyce, if there's one thing about me, which you know about me.
Yes, I know you very well.
Yes, I do not normally tell fibs.
No.
I don't lie.
The only
and
thing
I can tell you that I was even with the 3 people who, when this person was telling us
what was
at
not
Yaya
done.
Center.
Let me say, what was
and
not
they told
done.
me the figures that were going.
We talked about changing you know, we don't believe in what are they called? IEBC, we want new commissioners. That was done. We want everything biometric. It was done. We want all forms at the constituency level. It was done. So
yeah, but that doesn't mean you can still put grills, you can still put watchmen, you can have a gun, but thieves will still break in your house. So that cannot alone, that alone is not proof of lack of stealing.
What about the parallel tallying center? But we can talk about this, you know, until the cows come
home.
Yes.
Let's switch gears.
That is why I'm telling you,
we
can even mention and say that even what about Millie kneeling and praying? We can put all those perimeters. Does not stop anybody who wants to steal from stealing. So that alone is not guarantee that the election was not stolen.
Okay.
What I want to say myself is, honestly, you know, it is, yes, extremely painful when you lose an election, especially when you've, you know, put in all and believed and given the perception, you know, 10 million plus, and everybody's like, we are getting 10 million, you know, kuras from somewhere. Yes, when you lose, it is very, very painful.
Had you lost to Isaac, would you have accepted?
Yes.
If she lost fairly. Even if I lost fairly,
because
I would accept.
Yes.
But what we are saying is we have not lost fairly.
Okay.
Yes.
That's for the courts to decide. In the meantime, Junet Mohammed,
your
colleague, what is it? Suba, is it? Where is he in?
No, in Suna.
Suna.
Yes.
He actually he says, when you were talking about funerals and all that, today he sent 10,000 shillings to a young man's funeral, a guy called Dan Ciro from Midoti Village. Midoti Village.
Yes.
And he says this is what happens all the time. But my question is, whatever happened to CDF, and you would know about this as well, CDF, wasn't that supposed to take care of a lot of these costs?
No, not funerals, no. CDF is to build classrooms.
Yeah, but come on, you can...
You know you
No,
cannot.
you can't.
No. CDF is one of the most, audited and well-structured, funding. And not only just the funding, not just the auditing part of it, but even the auditors themselves or the people that monitor it very closely are the Wananchi themselves. Because you have to go to the public, tell them I brought you this check, it is 1 million shillings, and all of them are waiting to see what their 1 million.
So this is Junet Mohammed using his own money.
Yeah.
It has to be
Like
your
you
money.
people,
The
that's
funeral, the
Every
medical, medicine, the medical, whatever, the charges, that's got to be
Every
from
day.
your pocket.
So don't you wish you were back in America practicing law?
No,
She's
because
not even gotten there yet. Because in Senate.
No,
Yeah,
wait.
she was
No,
speaker.
I have. Even as speaker,
Yes.
I have had
Yes.
to spend money on such things every day for the last 5 years. And that is without being elected, like an MP or anything.
Yeah.
And I have seen that even with my MCAs, where by the time they take the mortgage and the car loans, they are probably left with like 8,000 shillings left on their paycheck. And every weekend, they have to go for funerals, they have to go to church fundraisers, they have to do all that. So there's a very unreasonable expectation on the elected leaders.
Yes.
And I think until we start having that conversation, we are not going to change anything. Because at the end of the day, elections have become so expensive in this country that it doesn't make sense. But at the end of the day, you cannot have a successful, generally, you cannot have a successful election without spending money.
So how'd you get the money in the first place to spend at your next election?
So that is now the conversation that we must have.
Now, yes, that
You
is
know,
the one. And,
we
and,
must
and
have that.
Now, if I go back to my being speaker, the deputy speaker of
Yes.
the National Assembly, the reason why a lot of the times you don't have quorum in the House, because everybody is out there trying
Looking for
They're out
money,
hustling.
so that the weekend catches them with something
With
that they can
something
go
in
and
the pocket.
they
They
can
have to
go
go
and
back
go.
to the people.
So you will scream.
Wait a minute. The reason there's no quorum in Parliament,
Yes,
A lot of times.
I can say
Even
it now.
assemblies, yeah.
the people who are supposed to be in Parliament are out hustling.
Yes.
Yes.
And Kenyans need to have, that's the kind of
Yes.
conversations Kenya should also be
And
having.
so when Sarah
Instead of
Serem's-
talking about like the media going, living lavish.
Large,
What lavish?
lavish.
What lavish? We are struggling. We are hustlers.
And you know,
We are
Jeff, when I
just
came back
hustlers.
from
It's
the
true.
US,
Yes.
Yes.
you have a political system where, for example, say, I give an example of Obama, where we believed in him so much, you give your $5 every month
Yes.
to help fund his campaign. So when I came here, I was shocked that it's me now having to give money instead of those who believe in me giving me money to
No,
run the
no,
campaign.
it doesn't work
So
that
until
way.
we get to that point, I think there's going to be a problem. Because then people are spending so much that they must at some point get their money back somehow.
So
And
maybe-
you don't really get back your money.
And they
Let me
don't.
actually say that.
But you also
Even
get
for the
addicted
benefit
to
of-
this
Even
siasa.
for the benefit of new MPs,
Yes.
you never get your money back. Because your money, we are an ATM. I only receive money for the public. It comes.
a conveyor
and
belt.
We are a conveyor belt.
yeah.
It comes and it goes.
That's very discouraging. eh?
Yes, we are a conveyor belt.
But it's the reality.
And
That's the
unfortunately,
reality.
because I always say that or traditionally as MPs, our role is supposed to be legislation, oversight, and representation.
Correct.
But representation has been expanded to include the social security or development, which we are not supposed to be doing. And that's actually why CDF was brought. But CDF only helps us in terms of, even the harambes we are supposed to do for schools.
Right.
Now for us now it's
Bursaries
mainly education,
Yeah, maybe, and bursaries
infrastructure and bursary
bursaries,
and
yes.
security.
Yeah.
But even still, people will still ask you, okay, so you know what people tell you? You gave us money for CDF, but you've not done any harambe for schools. So it doesn't matter that you're doing very good job, for schools. They still ask you, but what did you do with how much money, how many friends? Did you call Joyce to come and do a
Harambe.
fundraiser in our school? So if you don't do that, part of the things I write in my book is actually this. I've given percentages in terms of what you will be elected for. You will be elected for your development record. It counts for about 30%. Your party will count for something. you know, some people will just hate you because they don't, maybe you are short, they don't like short people.
Yes, go on.
And then issues of clanism, you know, all politics is local.
places,
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to. There's a lot to
Yeah,
deal
and then
with.
there's, for women now, there's the issue of gender. So there's a percentage you put to each one of them, and then the last one is how much money you give. And I am so happy that this time, due to a variety of factors, I was not actually able to reach largely towards in my constituency during campaigns.
Towards out of?
Five.
Out of 5. Mhm.
I still managed by a very big margin, but I was not able to reach towards out
So
of
what's
my
your
constituency.
advice to first-time MPs right now?
First-time MPs?
Yes.
My advice to them, number one, because I'm even seeing some, you know, people are enthusiastic. I'm running back to the constituency to do this. Take time off. Take time off. You're going to die. And people do not remember what you did this year. They remember
last year.
what you've done 1 day, 2 days
To elections.
A lot of people, how
And
much
what-
money you gave a few days. There are people who will consider all the things that I'm telling you. But, you know, in Kijaluo, we say it's the last rain that, that waters or that bears fruit. So if you, whatever you little, or the light sprinkle or showers,
Yes.
it's that's actually what will, you know.
Susan, are you
Barefoot.
listening? Senator,
Yes,
are you,
yes,
are you
yes,
listening?
yes, I am completely.
Yeah, so don't
Yeah. Don't be too over-enthusiastic.
over enthusiastic. People forget what you did year 1, year 2.
Yeah.
They remember whether you gave. Of course, people will remember. For instance, that you did some work. It gives you a foundation.
Right.
Like the 2 words I did not reach at all.
It's
I
what
got
you had done.
what had done pushed me to a level. But now the other 3 where I went, all politics is local. You know, this is our daughter. You know, that worked a big deal.
Yeah.
She's our daughter.
Yeah.
She's our granddaughter. She's our I don't know what. And then that you're able to give money.
Do you all, okay, the 2 vets, you, doctor, do you still enjoy this? Because you mentioned addictiveness. There's an addiction.
Yeah, that's what I, you know, and I because you asked us, why do we do it then? Why do you keep coming back? When you know there is no money, and it's true there is no money, you probably are less, you know, you'd have less than what you started with. But somehow, you know, you develop some passion. Like for me, just that thing that sometimes you actually make a difference in somebody's life. That you have actually seen these children who have gone to school, they are now in university and they are doing some very good, because you invested in them, you intervened, you came at the right time. And some of those things begin to make you feel, yes, this is a good thing. And the fact that I'm in a position to a decision-making position, that I can decide I'll do this and I'll do this and sometimes with that alone, it can really take you far.
And yet, if your sister hadn't died in that plane crash,
Yes.
you still be
A
doing
professor
PhD.
would now be, no, I have finished, I had already
Should
finished
now
my
be professor.
PhD. I'd probably be a professor or something
dean.
else. But I believe.
Did you ever think for one moment?
No. In fact, Millie knows that very well because, you know, I used to be a trainer. I used to train politicians. I used to train them in gender. I used to train them in communication. That was, and I used to tell them, you guys get on with your thing. For me, let me remain in the classroom. Let me go on with it. But I've also come to learn about one thing, that my life, you know, I don't know what I'm going to be in the next 10 years. But it is there in God's grand program for Joyce. So, you know, I believe everything is in the, you know, is in my grand plan that is there for me. I don't see it now, but, you know, it will come. And I just need to know what it is and seize the moment.
From speaker of a, you know, county, little thingy thing, to senator, national. That's a huge springboard. It's a huge step, Susan.
Okay.
Can you do it?
Of course I can. Absolutely. I have no doubt. I can.
Because there's a lot of haters out there, or naysayers,
Oh,
if
there
you
will always be. I mean, even for anything, whatever position, there is always going to be people who are going to say you can do it. But I also enjoy having that, because then I love to prove them wrong. You know? So I know I'll perform. We had a very silent senator the last term. So I know I have a lot to do because there's been such a vacuum in the county.
Yeah.
So I'm up to the task. I am ready. The only thing is I know there's a lot of expectations, so I know I really must work very hard. But I'm not afraid. I can do it, and I will do it.
There's a question from Ahmed Mohammed. Asmali from Eastleigh, he says, now that Jacoyo Midiwo has not been re-elected, will Millie Odhiambo take his position as deputy minority?
Or even minority leader? Why not? Why are you giving
I
deputy?
will tell you that I will take neither. I'm a very focused person.
But you're very vocal as well.
Yes, I am very vocal. And I think a lot of people don't understand. I was somewhere earlier today, we were just having informal discussions about that. And I was very clear that I do not want to be minority leader. I do not want to be minority whip. I've read a nice book called A Leader Without a Title. I'm one of those leaders without titles. You don't have to have a title to be a leader.
I see Millie
but
Jackson
I'm very
reads
clear.
A lot.
I am very clear about what I want, and I know what I want right now can only be fulfilled by me doing something else. Different. It's not high profile.
Right.
Something different.
What if they don't ask you and elect you?
I hope they don't.
Select you, actually.
Well, I can tell you,
Yeah.
I hope they don't.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Well, if you get it, let's say deputy, minority leader, if you get that, would you refuse it?
Most likely, I would. What I can tell you, just like Joyce says, is that my life is cut out. When I'm not screaming at you, I'm a very firm believer, Christian believer, and I believe that my life is cut out as a Christian, and I always know what I want out of certain things. And in this parliament, I know what I want. It's something I wanted to do in the last parliament. I did not get to do it. Having those positions will hinder me from doing what I want to do, which I can't say.
What is your ultimate, Millie?
What's my ultimate?
Yes.
In which sense?
What do you want to go?
My life is very dichotomized. I have Millie the lawyer, I have Millie the writer, I have Millie the trainer,
Politician.
I have Millie the politician,
Okay.
I have Millie the wife with no child, I have Millie many things. So I have many things planned out for me that I want to do. And taking those two leadership roles will not help my cause.
Aha.
Yes.
Wavinya Ndeti.
Yes.
Has congratulated all of you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
all of you. Yeah, she says, congratulate the ladies for me. Well done.
Yes.
And she ran a good race.
Yes, she really ran a good. I was actually hoping that we should have been one of us. You know, we should have been four of us. Yes, we wanted her to be along with us.
I was told she went to court. I'm wishing her the best if she has.
Yes.
Correct.
Nothing personal against
Alfred.
Absolutely.
No,
but women power, always.
At the end of the day, Yaliondwele. Dr. Ari, what do you think of your colleagues who have also made it, the other two?
Oh, I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
You know,
Charity.
Charity. I mean, you know, Charity. She's gone even for presidency in the past. So this is a real, you know, a good thing for her. And especially, it didn't look like it was, you know, she was really coming out strongly because, like the two gentlemen were really looking like they were coming out much stronger than her. But she must have been doing her thing, you know, quietly, you know, there in Kitui.
And nobody gave her a chance.
Actually, most people. Yes, everybody said, no, you know, Charity doesn't have a chance here. But you see, you know, I told you it's all up there. It's up there.
Decides.
He decides who is going to be.
What about Minji?
And Minji has done a great job herself. You know, she had gone through all those scandals, but you know, the people of Kirinyaga believed in her, and you know, they've given her this chance. So I know we'll be working very closely together, all the three of us, and you know, support each other. Charity being the experience that she's had in government and in and also you know, Anne as well. Yeah, I think
for Minji, for me, it was being caught between a rock and a hard place. I'm happy for her, especially as a woman, that she's coming as a governor. I just wish it was only her against men. Because I'm really sad for Martha. As a woman leader.
That was another one.
Because Martha has been one of the strongest women, you know. And for us, you know, whether she's in the other side, for us as women, because we are so few, whenever you get a woman rising to a given level, you always hope that they can keep, you know, keep rising. So to that extent, I wish they were vying for two different seats. But she's a strong woman, she'll bounce back.
Yes,
absolutely.
She will.
Good point, huh? Good point, yeah.
She will.
There are only three of you, Susan.
Yes.
out of 47.
I know.
But don't say only.
But
That's a big
remember
From
last
0 to 3.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
So remember last time in 2013,
Yeah.
the governors were an old boys club, and so were the senators. So at least, as much as maybe we would have wanted a few more, I think it's a great
It's a
start.
good start.
Yeah.
And I think we are slowly breaking that glass ceiling, you know?
It's cracking.
It's cracking.
It's starting to crack.
It's starting to crack, you
Yeah.
know? And so I'm excited also to be here at this point in time. And I believe from the work they'll do, because I know from the governors, I know they'll perform, looking at these ladies here.
Yeah.
The same as the senators. I'm only convinced that by the next cycle, you'll see more governors, more
Women
senators,
governors.
more MPs,
Yeah.
more, you know, more MCA women. So I'm really excited. And I think also just having women in these positions now, we have now, for example, say Joyce, setting agendas for the, what are the priorities in, say, Bomet, like water, you know, those things that are important to women. So I think it's just a wonderful, wonderful time that it is.
Absolutely. I think 2 elections from now, and this is my small prediction, 2 elections from now, you guys will be majority.
And we'll give you a third. We will be giving
Actually,
you guys
give you affirmative action.
affirmative action.
Actually,
Jeff-
we will
Jeff
give them
will be
men's rep.
nominated
I
as
think
the
there'll be
men's
a
rep.
position in parliament.
You'll
So
be the
we'll have
men
men reps.
for
The men reps.
for Nairobi.
And Jeff, yes,
And we will
be
stand in
in
the
the way
way
of your
for
nomination.
Nairobi.
We'll come campaign for you to be the men rep for Nairobi. Yeah.
And watch, 10 years down the road.
Yes. Okay, what is the full board, Monica? This one or this one? Okay, we're going to go to the tweets now, okay?
Yeah.
As we discuss men reps. I think my oh, okay, the poll. We asked the question, is Kenya on its way to achieving the 2/3 gender equity, right? 60%, 67% said yes.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
60
That's good. They have faith.
67% said yes. Not bad, huh?
Not bad at all.
Monica, you want me to go to the screen or you can see? I can see it from here. Okay, good. So tweets, Phil Mwangi, you say, women should put up a more spirited fight against men. It shouldn't be an easy ride for them up there. Quick reaction.
It's never an easy ride. Every time we are in an election, we do 10 times as much as the man has done to be where they are.
Okay, Phil Mwangi, there's your answer. Stephen Mutongo, you say, ask the panelists on their take on pay cuts. We've discussed that
I
already.
already
We
said
already
that.
discussed it.
No apologies. I don't want any pay cuts.
And you're going to fight it. You're going to fight it.
I have to serve bitter people, and bitter people told me
Yes.
they want more salaries for me. Yeah.
Ruth Njoroge, you say, the gender rule will not favor this country.
In what way? What does that
In what
mean?
way?
In what way? Unfortunately, she's not here to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Carry on. Rotich Nehemiah, you say, election of 76 women is a testament to the fact that women should fight against the affirmative action tag.
I don't think so. Those of us, I came in through affirmative action. That's why I've had that, you know,
You
platform.
got that, yeah, you got
Yeah.
that push. And then,
Yeah,
you know,
that
and
push.
from there-
And I believe the reason we have 76 now is because of
Because
that
of that
affirmative action.
When you look at just Nakuru,
Yes.
for example,
Yeah.
our current, the lady who won the women rep seat, Chalule, she was a nominated senator.
Yes.
We also have Mother Wangari, who is now the MP for Gilgil. She was
was
also
also
nominated.
nominated.
So that
So there's
is
something
like
to say.
Millie,
It's a
like
springboard.
Shebesh.
And Cecily
It's a
Mbalele,
springboard.
Shebesh.
Yes.
Yeah, a number of us were nominated.
Lesula,
Lesuda,
Lesula.
exactly,
Yes.
exactly. And a few like Gatondo North, now MP, Wanjiku Kibe. So there's a few of them. So that is necessary to be able to get women to the next
And to
level.
demystify women's leadership. That's how come many women were able to vie this time.
So if it comes to nominations, do you think women should be given more of the nominations
Yes,
coming up?
all the
Yeah.
nominations.
Of course.
Because all the other seats are for men.
I wasn't expecting another answer, actually. Sammy, you say only 29 women were elected through trouncing men. The 47 didn't really defeat any man.
29 of what?
Hope is in the 29.
Yeah, I think including the senators. I think
Yes,
I think
yes.
that's including
Oh,
because
'cause it's
at the
23.
National Assembly we are only 23 plus 3,
23
so
plus
26.
26.
3,
Oh.
No, but I think the 3 of the governors.
Oh, and the governors, yes, yes,
So
yes,
if you
you're right.
include plus the
Correct.
governor,
Yes,
it's not 29.
Okay. Johnstone Aseka, you say the only women to nominate should be from pastoral. My goodness.
I disagree.
Why?
No, that's not true.
That's so
If there's
unfair.
something about women is we are discriminated wherever you
Across
come
the board.
from. It doesn't matter
There are
where
very
you
many
come from.
And
communities
you
who are
can see
not
whatever
pastoralists.
political divide,
Yes.
when
Yeah.
it comes to discrimination against women,
is
we
the
are on the
one.
same page. We
There
are
are
one.
very many communities who are not pastoralists but have
Yes.
never elected one
One
woman.
woman.
Never
That's-
But
elected.
in the last
Samburu
parliament.
now, right?
Samburu
Samburu
now
now
has.
has. There are
Yeah,
many
but that's
communities
okay.
that
She's
are yet.
pastoralist, but I'm saying non-pastoralist communities
Yeah.
who've never elected a
Oh,
woman.
yes.
Or
Right.
let's give an example like
Like
Luo
Kisi,
Nyanza,
I've
we
never-
were the first to elect a woman. Then after that we had a lull, we got Phoebe Asio. Between Phoebe Asio and me took 16 years. Fortunately now we have 2 other women coming in with me
Right.
from Homa Bay County.
Yes.
But in Luo Nyanza took 16 years again for
16 years.
16 years. I was the only one in ODM in the
A
last
decade
parliament.
and a half.
So I'm so thrilled
Yes.
even for ODM now we are 5. Last parliament I was
Wow.
alone.
And then in your own county alone, you have 3
3.
elected women.
Yeah.
Elected.
Yes.
It's changing.
So you must have done something.
Change
with
is
that.
coming,
So,
change is coming.
Really,
Change is
change is
Demystifying
coming.
women's leadership.
Geza, Geza.
Yeah, the best of the best.
Okay, the Facebook posts. What do we have, Monica? Hussein Chalo, you say, if it has to be a must that we achieve 2/3 gender rule, we should have specific constituencies
Oh,
to
no,
produce women leaders.
That one is really
Complicated,
frowned
we've tried
upon. Nobody wants to be told you have to elect a
Yeah,
woman.
they should
Right.
be able to pick, to choose who
Yes.
they want
Absolutely.
to elect.
Good. Kohora wa Moya, you say women shouldn't expect to be given leadership positions for free. Instead, they should come out to contest like men do.
Nobody gives women
Nobody gives
for
us.
free. Nobody gives.
I think it's a very simplistic thing. It's like I always give it. The example is that you say, Jeff and Millie, let's compete, on a race. And then you say, Millie, you have a 9-month pregnancy. You are carrying a baby on your back. You are carrying another load on your head. And then you say, now on your mark, set, go.
And
You're
Jeff
free.
is going
And
And
then
I-
you think it's going to be free and fair. No. I carry a lot of baggage as a woman that you don't have as a man, including the one that she's being told her periods and
Right,
stuff.
correct.
Nobody tells a man, I don't know what your equivalent of periods is.
Well, we could talk about this.
I don't know if it's beards or what.
It's a tough crowd here, man.
For you, beards is considered. For us now, what can we use against you? Nothing.
Matthias Mbithi, you say, the 2/3 gender rule should be scrapped. It is unnecessary torture on the Constitution, uncalled for expenditure, and a gross misinterpretation of the concept of representation. 2/3 gender rule should be scrapped.
No, we worked
No,
so hard
we
to have it
disagree.
in that constitution, and there was a reason, and we are seeing the
We are
fruits.
seeing the fruits,
We are
yes,
seeing the
of the
fruits. There was a
2/3
good
general.
reason why, and it has also, encouraged a lot of us when we didn't get it in the, in Parliament.
Yeah.
After trying all that we could,
You did try, and even
we
the last
really tried. We really tried in the last Parliament, taking them out, giving them dinners. I don't know what, but
And what happened?
They just refuse. When they go and caucus, they just say no.
There was
they're
no
not passing
will,
it.
there was no initiative,
No.
was it
No will.
male chauvinist
No,
pigs?
Yeah.
They even contribute very positively on the floor of the House. On the day of the vote, 3/4 absent themselves from the House.
Yeah, they're out hustling.
So the
Yeah.
thing is, it's very important. Let's have it there.
Yeah.
It has encouraged, and we've seen now we have senators because we got
Governors.
angry and said, if you think we can't do it,
we are.
we are going to do it.
We're going to do it. Good. Well done. Text messages, SMSs. John, you say, no, there is no goodwill on the side of
This is
male MPs for
I
support.
wish you were an MP, John. You could have helped us.
You could have helped us.
He gets it.
Yeah. Zachary Munyambu in Thika, you say, yes, we are headed somewhere, but they must perform. If Gatondo North and Kibe was elected and defeated 7 gentlemen, then Kenya will gradually increase the number of women leaders.
Right.
You mentioned that.
Yeah.
Gatondo North.
She defeated men, I defeated men, she defeated
All
men.
of you,
So
all
we
of you.
defeated men, but we do not want to say that because I've made it, the other women
Every other
like
woman
it.
has the same
A
chance.
lot of women do not have the kind of, thick skin. Not all women are.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Reverend Langat, you say, elections and representation is a democratic process that cannot be dictated. Let women and men, for that matter, face that reality on equal footing.
But there's no
Where is
equal
that
footing.
equal
There's
footing?
no
We don't have a fair playing field. So we must give, it is necessary and important that we help these women by giving them a slight advantage because we've always been far behind. We don't have a fair playing field at all.
Yeah. How many men, for instance, had their bodyguards killed, their houses burnt, and the kind of thing Joyce went through, or the kind of thing she went through? How many men?
Or even resources.
It's cultural.
And even
we are
resources,
fighting, yes.
they have more resources.
Cultural
than we
barriers.
We have the cultural barriers,
issues.
we are fighting the finances, we are fighting, you know, all manner of things that other men are not fighting.
Ladies, I'd like to get some closing thoughts from all of you, okay? We'll start with the junior one here.
Yes.
The former lawyer.
Not junior. Well, but just said
Junior
First
senator
term,
from
first
Nakuru
term.
County.
The first time, yeah.
First time is
That sounds
nice.
better.
Go on. What's
Okay.
the camera, Monica?
Okay.
Is it 3? 2.
I'm shining.
Senator.
Oh, over there. Okay. Jeff, thank you for having us on this.